All praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to Apostle Elders in New York, GMS. Salutations to you, Akim, that's teaching the truth, putting your lives on the line for it. And shalom to you, serious Aquap that's looking at videos. My name is Maya Ka'ala Bangad with Chicago branch of Great Millstone. Like to make a few disclaimers that we are not black Hebrew Israelites. We are Israelites. The Israelites are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, speckled birds that scattered abroad. Speckled birds are Israelites who look like other nations, but their fathers paternal bloodline go back to the 12 patriarchs of Israel. We are not fitting any black identity extreme groups. We're not fitting in any extreme groups. We're not affiliated with any Islamic groups. We're not affiliated with any other Israelite groups. All right. So we just left, picking up where we left off about 2 months ago, and during that time, that's what the corona pandemic happened. So, I had to sort of put this on the side, because I was covering, other important. Not saying this is not important, but as a prophet of Yahweh. You have to report and basically filter the scriptures of what's going on with today society, that COVID-19, the self-quarantine was martial law, etc., etc. So, so this is part 2 of Issachar Inventions. All right, contributions to based in America. All right. Because you had this guy named Konaf from Volpe. He said that the so-called Latinos, basically so-called Mexicans, hasn't invented or contributed anything to American society, which is false, man. Issachar invented and contributed and had influence on American culture. All right, particularly cultures all the world, man. You got in Japan over there, they got the Cholo culture, man. They dressing like Issachar, so-called Mexican, trying to lowriders and all that, man. All right. It says Wisdom of Solomon chapter 5 verse 1. It said, then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as afflicted him and made no count of his labors, right? All right, so we out there, brothers that are so-called Negroes, Latino, Native Americans. All right, there's like the prophets out there. We on the corner, man. Boldly telling Esau, the so-called white man, that he's going down. His society is crumbling. It's going to crumble like a cookie. Okay. And Yahweh gonna come back and establish his kingdom, man. He gonna take this queendom down, call America. He gonna establish his government upon the earth. All right. And just he put this little feeling in. He will destroy America by thermal new construction. Just grabbing Revelation 18, Revelation 17, Jeremiah chapter 51. All right. Isaiah 34, Isaiah chapter 13. All right. So there's no escape, man. You're going down, Esau. All right. Okay. So let me get this right. All right. All right, it says, then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such had afflicted him and made no count. Like, right, they made no counts of the Inventions influence, the so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. They made no counts of that. All right. They go on every day, man. All right. All right. But in this case, man, I'm going to show you that the Issachar so-called Mexicans. All right, the Mexica people, indigenous people, Mexico, inventions, contributions they made to America and the rest of the societies throughout the world. All right, so we left off. All right, I showed that Doritos, nachos, tacos, burritos, the candy, the snacks and candy at the movie days, popcorn, porn, all that was contributed by the tribe of Issachar. All right, also Zebulon. All right, all the snacks go at the ballparks and all that stuff, man. Microwave popcorn, all that, man. They come, all that trace back popcorn, all that stuff. Like I said before, go back to Issachar, man. You will have no M&Ms, no sneaker. You won't have no chocolate candy for that wicked holiday, Valentine's Day. You won't have no German chocolate cake. All right. You wouldn't be dipping those strawberries in chocolate and feeding it to your woman without the contribution of the so-called Mexican, man. Will be no Taco Tuesday. Won't be no Lori's taco season sauce and all that stuff, man. All right, those Americanized tacos anyway, real, but they come from Issachar, man. All right, the popcorn, man. All right, was help people during the depression to survive hunger, man. All right, thanks to the contribution of Issachar, the so-called Mexicans, man. All right, the color TV you be looking at in black and white. All right, you have to thank Issachar. All right, the tribe of Issachar, the so-called Mexicans. All right. So I'm showing you some more things because you got that guy Quanop, he started all that, man. And just a response to his video saying that the so-called Mexicans, basically the Northern Kingdom, the so-called Latinos and Native Americans, haven't invented anything, made any contributions to society. That's false, man. All right. Get this right here. Hosea chapter 1, verse 10. All right. Yet the number of children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cut another false doctrine of Quanop, saying that Israel shall be little among nations, which cannot be measured, no number. It shall come to pass that in that place of Mary, where it was said to ye are not my people, dare sell to them, ye are the sons of the living power, right? And so Esau, the heathen nation, and even our own people, saying that the so-called Negro Latino neighbor are not the Israelites. In this case, you got Quanop, which me and El Tahar believe that he might be a Gadite. Because a lot of these cats, man, is anti Northern Kingdom, man. A lot of them come from the Northern Kingdom. They just of it, man. All right. So we saying, yeah, you so-called Latino Native Americans are the Israelites, man. All right, are the sons of the living power, according to scriptures and history. All right, so let's get into these inventions. All right, we left off at, man. All right, let's go over here. Lowrider history. Yes, the lowrider, man. All right, it says just as historians had written that the Pacuco, let me see what the name, Paco, damn. Basically, I'm trying to pronounce it better. The Pacuco had originated in get this camera right, okay. And Ciudad West, Mexico, indicates tend to point the same north direction as far as the origination of lowrider is concerned. All right, it says, before I begin expressing my views on the touchy, so allow me to remind readers that history is simply history. Yes, indeed, it's the story of another. Sometimes historians tend to confuse facts with fiction. All right. It says Tintin. Man, I first started Tintin, the so-called founder of Paco. Some claim that Tintin Valdez in Mexico City was a true godfather classic of Paco style. But if people look at the photos taken German Valdez years before he was even known as Tintin, they may be surprised to discover that the Mexican after scene comedian did not dress nor appear anything close to Paco in his personal life. All right, but I'm gonna go down to lowriders. All right, it says lowriders. As for where lowriders originated, some argue that lowriders originally began as Los Angeles, California, but it just was true. Where were the young Pacos and was driving long before Southern California was introduced to the Paco subculture, even Tintin. They couldn't have been riding horses or Could they have? Photos taken of the streets of Juarez in 1930s do prove that the city did have actual American and German cars. In fact, there appears to be triple the amount of Chevy and Fords than a majority German made. Volkswagens popular in Mexico City. Some American cars appear to be riding low, either due to poor or worn out suspension, or as some claim, Palco style sandbags in the trunk. All right. So I'm gonna go down here. It says lowrider first emerged in the barrios of West in 1939 when young Palco rebels lured their rides by stuffing sandbags in the trunks of the car. The practice referred to as tombandola, or dropping it. He rebel claims that the Pacos in Los Angeles then discovered the vehicle could also be lowered simply by removing the car shock absorbers, then heating up the ride springs when the wielding torch until the metal became loose and fatigued. All right, it's a hydraulics in the East Los Angeles. It's an article written on the Lowrider magazine states that Mexican Americans in Los Angeles own body shops advanced their auto suspension skill were the first to include hydraulics to their cars. They figured if hydraulics were power enough to stop a 3-ton car, they could easily lift it. The lowrider scene in the East LA became nationally known as late 1970 when Hollywood films such as Boulevard Nights, Cheech Chong's classic Up in the Smoke hit theaters. Right, it says Sonny Madrid and Lowrider magazine. It said the story going that Lowrider entered the Cali scene in the late 1960s. That when San Jose College student Sonny Madrid decided to feature photos of beautiful lowriders on the magazine he would name Lowrider. 1,000 copies of the magazine was printed and distributed in the barrios all across northern California. You see Lowrider magazine here in Chicago, man. All right. Well, I was a kid. I used to buy. I buy when I had a chance. All right. It says the magazine was a hit and people began requesting more. By 1979, Lowrider magazine had become the most successful Chicano magazine in U.S. history. Lowrider's aficionados were predominantly Mexican American until African American Los Angeles began acquiring a taste for slammed automobiles. All right. So this is the Trap of Judah, man. All right. All right, so Trapper Judah, they got on. They saw his car doing, they got on him, man. All right, it says right here, um, it said lowriders go mainstream. Rap artists of African descent, Israelite descent, all right, because so-called Negroes in America, they are Judah descent. Rap artists of Israelite descent began using the lowrider image on their music videos in the mid 1980s. White American Edomite youth who love rap music adopt the lowrider style on their favorite rap video. Right, man. You see the most famous videos, Dr. Dre. As far as I know, he Judah. You got Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg's a Gadite. All right, his father bloodline go back to a Native American, man. All right. And they did a DNA show on Joe Lopez show, man. All right. It says right here, it says low rise and car manufacturing. Another interesting turn of events occurred in a major automobile company such as GM, Ford, and Toyota began using the low profile look in design of their modern cars. But I thought the so-called Mexicans didn't have no influence or they didn't invent anything. Quanah, man, Issachar contribute much and more, man. All right. It says automobiles appeared to come out of woodworks with lower profiles in the early 1980s. In fact, low-profile vehicles are now in demand. Car companies continue making millions selling cars and trucks only inches off the street. The key question is, did lowrider inspire the car manufacturer to reduce the profiles on modern vehicle, or was the cool low alteration made for innovative purpose, improved wind dynamic speed? This is an argument all itself may one day inspire writers and thinkers to express their own verse particular history, man. Correct, man. All right, so it's a car, man. The low rider. All right, come on, man. All right, look at the rap videos, man. Low rider. Let me get that. Put Snoop Dogg on there, man. All right, the hell you talking about, man? The so-called Mexicans are the Israelites that the Bible speaks of, man. They are the salt of the earth, man. There's no getting around it, man. All right. The lowrider is part of American culture, man. Look at this, man. Come on. Let's get this right here, man. The acrylic glove. All right. It said talking gloves speaks for itself for the deaf. Researcher Jose Hernandez Rebola of George Washington University had demonstrated his acrylic glove could translate rapid hand movements to make the alphabet, some of the words, I basically appear on the computer screen, man. All right, and does him right here. All right. It said electronic glove that could turn American Sign Language gesture into spoken words or text, designed to help the deaf communicate more easily with the hearing world, is under development. All right. Researcher Jose Hernandez Rebola of Washington University had demonstrated his acrylic glove can translate the rapid hand movements used to make alphabet and some words phrases of a sign language. All right. It said he is not the only one experimenting to fight. The military exploring similar technologies to silently help soldiers in combat. But Hernandez Rebola said his invention goes further than others because it can also translate to spoken words and simple sentences on the more complex arm motion of the ASL. All right, so there you go, man. All right, talking glove for the deaf, man. An advanced talking glove for the deaf invented by a so-called Mexican. All right, Issachar, man. All right, what y'all talking about, man? We got this right here. Sonido 13. All right, it says Sonido 13 is a theory of microtone music created by Mexican composer Julian Carrillo around 1900, described by Nicholas Slomniski as the field of sound smaller than 12 semitones of temperature scale. Carrillo developed this theory in 1895 while he was experimenting with his violin. While he was experimenting with his violin, though he became the internationally recognized for system notation, it was never widely applied. All right, his first composition demonstration theories was Preludio et Colonne. All right. It said the Western music convention up to this day divides octave to 12 different pitches that could be arranged or tempered in different intervals. Carrillo termed his new system Sonido 13, which is Spanish for 13 sound or sound 13, because it enabled musicians to go beyond 12 notes that comprise the octave in conventional Western music. It said Julio Carrillo wrote that the 13th sound will be the beginning of the end and the point of departure of a new music generation will transform everything, man. All right. And this guy, man, he's a straight up indigenous person, man. I looked him up, man. All right, this guy is Issachar, man. Straight up Issachar, man. I'm trying to get a picture of him. All right. Julian Carrillo. All right. Julian Carrillo. All right, so there you go, right there, man. There you go, right there. All right. So-called Mexican. Issachar, man. All right, so so-called Mexicans, man, they made contributions, man, and inventions. All right, contributes to America and inventions, man. Invented stuff in Americas, man. Contribute to the world, make a heavy influence on the world, man. All right, I'm gonna show you. Hold on, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you what the Ammonites, so-called Japanese, they love Cholo culture, man. I'm coming from Issachar. Let me see, Cholo. All right. Cholo style in Japan. All right.
and welcome back to my channel. And today's video is something interesting that I've wanted to make a video about for a while now, but I just haven't. No, Chicano or Chicana is
かっていうのが80年代ぐらいまでは誰も知らなくて、全くなかったんですけど。
That's Junichi. He's one of the godfathers of the Japanese lowrider scene and founded one of the oldest car clubs in Nagoya.
いろんな輸入のマガジンとか海外を取材した日本のカーマガジンによってそのローライダーっていうのが日本に
Personally, I actually think this is really beautiful. This man seems to be so interested in.
All right, see that? All right, so they had heavy influence on Ahmed over there in Japan, man.
I've always wanted to be a teacher. With everything
Some of them jakes, man.
going on, we've had
Little
to
Japan,
alter our
man.
classroom settings. We have to
Alright.
transition into virtual learning to make sure that the education is continuing.
We're here and we're ready. Verizon and the New York Times are offering 14 million students free digital access to Times journalism.
Hi everyone, me llamo Mona Issachar.
Mickey said that next to the funk state.
Junichi Shimodaira.
And I'm Walter, your host. If you grew up in LA like I did, then you kind of understand just how big of a deal Chicana and Chicana culture is out here. And it's a way for people like myself to both honor the lives that we have here and the lives our parents left behind in Mexico. When I first heard that there were people copying Chicano culture in Japan, it seemed surreal. I really had no idea that this world could exist outside of LA. So I decided to go and find out how this spread so far away and why.
All right, so there you go, man. All right, the so-called Mexicans, Latino Native out there, it's like that the Bible speaks of, man. Look at this guy right here, man. You don't know that though, the Cool Ranch Doritos, man. It's contributed by Issachar so-called Mexicans, man. All right, and I believe he come from Alabama too. So you know, people, yeah, most of the people, man, they say that the so-called Latino Native Americans are Israelites, man. Either they came, either they grew up shelter in the suburbs somewhere in America, or they come from down south. All right, where it's heavily based, you know, down south, east south, backwards culture and shit, you know. Salaf, excuse my French, but he's all racist cultures, so-called white supremacy. All right, had basically, you know, messed Jake head up, man. Jake, you know, they think of one track, you know, they don't think outside the box, man, when it comes looking up, doing research in history, man. So this guy going off in this case, man. He don't know that, you know, Cool Ranch Doritos, man. That's because of the so-called Mexicans, man. The tribe of Issachar, man. All right, that goes back to the tortilla chips, man. All right, or the tortilla, man.
Bishop, turn that fan on low for me. Turn on low.
Oh boy. All right, man. Shalom, man. Shalom.